Well, would you look at that? It's kind of insane to say, hey, I told you so. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to do you guys like that, but heck yeah. What is up, everybody? Blade here. And today I have for you guys another video of P5X here. And you already see the teaser. You know what's up. You know what's happening here. Kasumi was officially teased. So if you guys are interested in the video, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because we about to break down some juiciness here. But yes, Kasumi has officially been teased on the Twitter page. And for the haters out there, yes, I did have to sit here and say, well, I told you so, because this was the main thing that was a huge deal, that everyone was like, oh, they're gonna push her back, they're not gonna bring her out, she's never gonna come to the game. And one, you guys, you gotta let me gloat a little bit on this one, because one, it makes no sense for them to absolutely say the character's never going to come out, right? Because that hurts them financially on money. They do know P5R is a lot of people's high interest, and a lot of people do love the original characters, or at least the characters from the actual game, right? So why would they throw away a money option? Two, for the people who are like, oh, they're going to push her back again. You guys have to understand that the reason that they did push them back, or at least have them in this way, it makes more sense to have both the characters of the collab to be back to back, because that's easily more funds in that said area that they can easily milk people out of money for. One, it's a business expense easily. And then two, you have to think that Crossfade part 1 and part 2 have to be next to each other. Originally, they had them split, and it was this very weird time period. That was because they had all these banners all over the place. So now that they have the banner situated, we now can have things in the order that it needs to be. So as I thought, of course, she's the next character coming on out. So for all of you guys who said otherwise, bite me. But other than that, let's go ahead and talk about this character. So for a lot of you guys, this is going to be a character that you're going to summon for a lot for, or at least summon a lot on, or either have been waiting for using all your materials. I know a lot of free-to-plays who have been saving a ton of their gems just to try to get A6. So it is going to be an interesting time. Now, the question does come down, and a lot of people's things on their mind is this character going to be irrelevant? I'll have a video whether you should summon or not, and I'll be going over somewhat the same, the same things as well. But I will say that I don't think that the time period is really going to hurt this character. Now, granted, Makoto Yuki is right behind her in probably like 2 patches. No, in like 3-4 patches. But I don't think that's really going to hurt her. The reason why I say this is because that is a good month and a half, maybe a good month in between, which is more than enough time. I think it's actually like a good month and a half to 2 months in between here, maybe longer. And if that's the case, she still has a long living time period, you guys. You got to think, we have the character for 2 weeks. Then we're going to have most likely a Catchy. After a Catchy, that right there is a whole month, by the way. After Akechi, most likely is going to be Turbo, then Anj. That's 2 months. Makoto Yuki probably won't be happening for a good 2 months and a half, maybe 3 if they swap you guys to the 3-week period. Because at Anj, that's where we got the 3-week period swap, right? So if that is the case, she has a very long time to live. And even once Makoto gets here, anything that's Bless related, she will still be living through. Not even just talking about meta here, I will just straight up say it. As a character, if you like him, play him, right? It's not going to hurt you to play the character. And inside of this way, especially with Kasumi, she has a lot in her build that honestly, you're going to enjoy using this character no matter what, even if it's not the element that's in your favor. So let's go ahead and talk about her. Her whole deal that's going to happen with her is going to be revolved around her highlight, really. She does colossal damage, I think, on her 3rd skill, if I remember correctly. Gotta clear my throat because I kind of did just wake up. But we have, of course, the 3rd skill that's going to be dealing a lot of damage. Your whole setup is going to be with skill 2, skill 1. And you really want to just go out with this whole skill rotation in order to deal your crazy big boy damage. Now, she can be paired with Cord. She can be paired with Wind. There are a couple characters that she will absolutely just love to be with. So if you want to run any of these teams, be sure to check them out. J and C, I have not tested myself, so I'm unsure on how much damage she does now with them, but she is an insanely good character. The only downside with her that I feel like a lot of people are going to notice is it does take her a little bit to set up. As you can tell, she is a 3-turn setup here. You got turn 1, turn 2 and into turn 3. And so it does take her a little while. But even with that in mind here, she is able to dish out some insane freaking damage. Now, some of you guys are wondering, is she going to get buffed? Is she going to like have anything crazy? I will gladly say that they will probably buff like some small percentages, but it's not going to be anything insane. The character herself does a lot, and I mean a ton of damage that we still use her to this day. I think on TW, there are still some people with A6s or probably like A3 that are still utilizing this character. Heck, maybe some people with A0 are still using this character in SOS and in Guild Boss. So the character herself is not fully gone. She is definitely a unit that's going to be around, especially if you're a person who's worried about that. But this unit is exceptionally worth it. And it's kind of weird that I've seen a lot of people just say, oh, well, Makoto Yuki's right there, so I'm just going to skip. Like, or either like they immediately try to force that habit on everyone. When I say something on optimal stuff, right, you guys, keep in mind, go for who you want, and there will always be a use for all these characters. We have to understand that every last character will always have their usage. Now, granted, there are probably going to be better characters than them, and maybe in the field of DPS, the field of support, but you will always be able to use them. And Kasumi's no exception. It's going to take a while for people to highly get rid of her burst damage that she can deal. So it's going to be very interesting. But as you guys can see for some of the moves here, we have Glimmer of Night. This one, she is a manual skill, and there's skill 1. You usually use it after the skill 2, after you get a dance partner here. But whenever you do have one of her posture stacks, aka Brave Step, she can get this stack up 3 times, and then it will trigger the skill once the dance partner does go, and she does a decent bit of damage. Now, technically, you don't fully trigger this, right? You will not really be fully triggering this. As you can see, the skill 1 is usually doing its own thing here, or usually it's going to do its own thing here. So how it really does go is like you want to go ahead, skill 2, boom. Then afterwards, you get your skill 1, right? And then eventually you're going to get a follow-up, all right? You're going to get a follow-up, and that's about it, right? Once you get that said follow-up, that's where we come in and we do some craziness, right? We're usually going to be using our highlights. We're going to use our skill 3, bang. Huge stinking damage, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. Now, there are, of course, other options that you can do, which is why she has so many skill rotations up here. But that's going to be for you guys to kind of experiment on. Now, if we look at the skill 2, which is Dancing in Hand, she selects a dance partner. This increases the dance partner's attack by 32.4% for 3 whole turns, and then she gains another posture stack. Whenever the dance partner uses a persona skill, she will immediately use her Glimmer of Night on one enemy, which does a decent bit of damage, of course, which is always going to be great. Then your big boy skill is Blooming of Hearts, as well as your highlight. But Blooming Heart here does 214.7% attack as blessed damage to one enemy. If you're inside the Masquerade mode, it additionally increases your skill damage by 30% and crit damage by 29.3%, which is insane. But then we have the highlight, obviously, Masquerade mode, and this can be triggered multiple times if you have Cord. Obviously, she does around like 243.8% attack. I do expect this to get buffed a little bit, nothing too crazy, but I expect to get buffed a little bit here. And it's going to be based on your amount of what's called posture stacks that you have based on Brave Step and Agile Step, both of which increase your highlight skill damage and crit rate and crit damage, seeing that her highlight can crit. She's the second character to do this, so this is actually very, very helpful too. Then if we look at her passive, she says for every stack of posture, she increases her blessed damage by 10% up to 30%. And then Determination itself, after all allies uses their highlight, increases her own attack by 45% for 2 whole turns, which is always great. But this character is finally going to be releasing, and I knew she was going to be up next here. This was the one character that I was like, listen guys, we got to use our thinking, at least our thinking hats this one time. She is coming out right after CNY and Matoy. And no one believed it until now you got the thing in your face. So my Kasumi enjoyers, CJ, rejoice. It is finally time to start pulling, you guys. And I can't wait to see a lot of you guys pulls. But till then, have a nice day, y'all, and peace out.